What is going on, my Masketeers? Welcome back to the Masquerade, and today we are here to talk about Netflix's DOTA Dragon's Blood Season 2, or also known as Book 2. So, let me just say this right off the bat. The show itself, we follow multiple characters and interwoven storylines, so it's very hard to try and tell a review about the whole thing because it jumps from place to place. So what I'm gonna try and do is just give an overview of what I thought about this season and the key bits for me that I thought worked, and then the key bits which I think didn't really work. Now, one thing which I will say is I felt that with this show they did an amazing job of creating the lore and giving you, I would say, a lot of backstory to a few characters. One of which is obviously the main character, Davion, because as you know, he has fused with Skylark, the Dragon of Flames, or the Father of Fire. And through the season, we basically do find out a little bit more, or potentially where Davion comes from. That he might come from something that is called the Dragon Clan, but not that much information is known about them. That even from the history books themselves, they've kind of been lost to time. And that would kind of explain how he was able to survive merging with Skylark in the first place. But the person who is kind of doing a whole bunch of experiments on Davion to try and discover how his powers work is a holy man of the Dragon Knight regime, and he goes by the name of Father. And he has basically come to the conclusion that he can kind of weaponize Davion's blood to make other Dragon Knights as durable and as strong as him. Within there's a bit of an ulterior motive, and that kind of gets discovered as the episodes go on. And so, yeah, I thought that was a very interesting take, or a new thing to add to it. Then we kind of jump to Mirana, and her story it's a little bit all over the place for me. I'll just say that because it starts off with she's trying to get back to her land, essentially, because right now her and Luna are still in elf territory and they are at war with the elves. So they need to get out but make it back to their stronghold where they're going to be safe and where they can regroup. But in them trying to get back there, they end up getting captured by mercenaries. But then you find out the mercenaries work for Mirana's uncle, who is now the emperor. So we then find out that the uncle is a usurper, and he is the one that killed Mirana's family, her mother and her dad, to take the throne for himself. And so he basically has her brought to him, and he gives a proposition where he tells her that if he marries her, that will basically allow her to have access to his army, but then it will also create a stable country. And so it's a win-win, which he's not wrong, but it's a bit weird, you're gonna marry your own nephew. But to be fair, royalty always did that whole thing where they did a whole bunch of inbreeding, so they now introduce that she could be the princess of the sun, or the empress of the sun. A whole bunch of new characters kind of are added to the mix. The third person who we follow, Invoker, essentially is working with Terrorblade, and as you know, Terrorblade is the overarching villain of the whole series. He is literally trying to resurrect his daughter. Salamene will essentially die, his daughter will be resurrected, and then he will quote unquote give Terrorblade the dragon souls. And even then, it's not really explained why he needs the dragon souls and why they're so important. That's what I will say that this season did raise more questions, but it didn't really give enough answers. They introduced a new character, right? So Lena is the protector of the city, But through a series of events, they end up electing Lena as regent. It was all a plan Lena had put into place for her to be selected as the regent. It's such a throwaway because it happens in one episode and you find out that she's been the one behind all of it. And then within the next episode, it's not even resolved. Like, what happens is just so left. It made no sense and it was so wasted. And to be fair, that's my general issue with this whole season. Everything felt rushed. There was no time to breathe. There was no emotional beats. It just looks like they are trying to rush so much lore and so much mythos at you that they don't give you any time to really sit down and take it all in. This season just felt to me in certain aspects as a massive information dump and no real character development to its detriment. The action in this series is good, the overall plot is good, but the plot for season 2 is a jumbled mess. It doesn't really make that much sense and you still don't know why certain people are doing certain things. And by the end of the season, you have more questions than answers. And so for me, that was like my only major gripe. The fact that they didn't really allow the season to breathe. Like, they took so much stuff, blazed right through it. And yeah, because of that, I think I'll give season 2 or book 2 of Dragon Blood 6 out of 10. When it came to the action, on point. When it came to the animation, forever stunning. Plot wise, it didn't really do it for me. So yeah, those are my thoughts for season 2 or book 2. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you next time. Peace.